Hi everyone, I'm Melissa with Midnight Hour Oil, and I wanted to come out and share a few things with you today. First, I want to talk about a dream one of my lovely subscribers, her name is Libby, sent to me. I believe it's a warning dream pertaining to a potential false rapture. All right. The second thing is just some more insights I feel Holy Spirit's been showing me about the word I received 3 or 4 weeks ago that no man will know the day or the hour, which again I believe pertain to a potential change in our time measurement during Jacob's trouble. All right. So first, I want to read this dream to you just as Libby sent it to me. She said, I had this dream the night of January 5th, 2019. It was like I started a new job at this large building with several departments. Each of the department heads were taking me here, taking me there, teaching me all the things I would have to do, and I stretched and pulled so far it felt like my clothes were even becoming ragged. I couldn't even speak. Then I was outside on a grassy slope. I saw others, but only from the back. Then something in the sky caught my eye. I kept looking as it got closer. Then I saw that it was Jesus on his white horse with thousands with him, exactly like the image you use often to show his return. Then I began to shout to all around, Jesus is here. It's really him. We are going now. They kept moving closer and getting larger as they neared. I kept trying to jump toward him and wondering why I was not changing. One was close enough to touch, but I couldn't. Then, just as fast, it was all gone. After looking all around the sky and not being able to see anything, I fell to my knees, sobbing hysterically, not understanding. Then a man from the building, age 25 to 30 or so he seemed, came and almost put his hand on my shoulder, had tears in his eyes, and said, I am so sorry I did that to you. I looked at him incredulously as he continued and said, I created that on my computer and cast it on the sky like a hologram, even splicing the horse and riders to look like they were moving and getting further apart as they got closer. I said, you mean it wasn't real? It wasn't real? He said, no. Then I woke up terribly disturbed. Yeah, I would have been too. Okay, so I wanted to share this dream with you because I really feel that this is a very real possibility, something like this happening. And I want to address what the potential is if something like that did happen. All right, now a couple years ago, I had been given a dream about Planet X, and in the dream I saw where these fake clouds were being cast onto the sky, and they were concealing Planet X. All right, so it was there, but you just couldn't see it. And I felt the Lord was showing me something that was really happening, okay? And I've watched videos where people who have knowledge of those types of sciences do say that it is possible for them to cast images on the sky to conceal things. So anyway, I thought if that is possible, then why not this hologram thing? I mean, of course, we've all seen where they can cast an image of a person onto a stage and make it appear they're right there when they're thousands of miles away. So we know they have the capability of casting holograms. Why not onto the sky? All right. And the first thing I wanted to say about this, okay, the image that Libby described is the image of Jesus' second coming. Now, many people, especially, young, immature Christians, don't realize that the second coming of Jesus and the rapture are two totally different events, all right? And when Paul describes the rapture, he describes it as happening in the twinkling of an eye. He describes it as a thief in the night, Jesus coming back for his church, as a thief in the night, all right? So if something happens so fast it's in the twinkling of an eye, you're not going to see that. And a thief in the night, nobody sees the thief. When Jesus comes back for his church, he's going to come in, take her, and be gone before anybody even knows it. That's how that works. So that is not something I believe anybody will see, with the exception of those who are being taken. I believe they will see what's going on, but not unredeemed man. All right. Now, the second coming of Jesus, yes, I believe everybody will see it worldwide. They will see Jesus coming and his church with him. Okay, so to understand that is vital. again, the same theme, all the other videos I've been doing in the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks have been about being grounded in truth so that we can't be deceived, okay? Because our only defense against deception is the truth, all right? And so to understand the difference between the rapture and the second coming of Jesus is vital. And, for an immature believer who might not know, okay, the difference, they see something like that happen, they think they missed it, they think they missed the rapture. Well, what would a person do? Look how Libby reacted in her dream. She was sobbing hysterically. All right, now I'd be concerned about how people might react and, what somebody might do if they felt totally hopeless. All right, and that's why I want to share this, and I hope you'll share this with others as well, so that if something like this did happen, they will know that is not the real rapture, because you're not going to see that. Nobody, like I said, I believe will see the rapture with the exception of those who are taken in the rapture. So please share that, all right? And the second thing I wanted to share, again, this is not a thus saith the Lord. This is just me thinking about a word I received, and then I feel like the Holy Spirit just keeps giving me scriptures to pull these things together and what may happen during Jacob's trouble, okay, with regard to time, our measurement of time. Okay, so originally, just to recap, I shared about the dream and the word I was given in the same night. No man will know the day or the hour. And then in the dream, I needed to be somewhere, but I couldn't tell what time it was. None of the clocks worked. My watch didn't work. My phone didn't work. And so, I believe the Lord was showing me that time it'll be impossible to tell what time it is during the time of Jacob's trouble, but I didn't understand how that could happen. And then one of my lovely subscribers sent me a link to an interview that Gary Stearman with Prophecy Watchers did with Brent Miller. And Brent began to explain that what's coming, okay, in Isaiah 24, and I'm going to read a little bit of that in a second, he explains that what happens there in Isaiah 24 could only happen with a crustal pole shift. And he, compares the days of Noah to what's coming. And of course, we know that everything that happened in the days of Noah will be replicated in the end times. And he believes that pole shift, that there was a magnetic pole shift that happened in Noah's day to cause the flood. And he believes what's coming is a crustal pole shift, something the earth has not yet experienced. And so but he explains, what a crustal pole shift will do to the earth. And I'm just going to read a couple scriptures from Isaiah 24. I think this is verses 18 through 21. It says, "The floodgates of the heavens are opened. The foundations of the earth shake. The earth is broken up. The earth is split asunder. The earth is violently shaken. The earth reels like a drunkard. It sways like a hut in the wind. So heavy upon it is the guilt of its rebellion that it falls, never to rise again." Okay, and Brent explains when the earth begins to reel back and forth like a drunkard, that's literally like the earth being thrown out of its orbit. And the sun will rise and set in different places. And so, what we use for a measurement of time, the 24-hour day, will be gone. All right, gone. And so then I felt Holy Spirit again just pulling these scriptures together for me. And the next thing I thought about is Revelation chapter 8, verse 12, where it tells us the fourth angel sounded its trumpet, and a third of the sun was struck, a third of the moon, and a third of the stars, so that a third of them turned dark. A third of the day was without light, and a third of the night. And I started to think about that, and the one third, and I thought, if you take the light away for a third of the day and night, that's 2/3 of our day. If you take away 2/3 of our day, you have an 8-hour day, all right? And I thought more about that, and I thought, how Brent was saying that all of the judgments outlined in Revelation they coincide with the days of creation. Like God is going to judge creation in the same order he created it, all right? And so I thought, what if, okay, when Satan's time to wreak havoc on earth comes as a judgment against Satan. Because think about it, when Satan fell, 1/3 of the angels followed him. So what if God says, as a judgment against Satan, when your time to wreak havoc comes, I'm changing time measurements. You will only have an 8-hour day. You will have 2/3 less time to wreak havoc on the earth. 2/3 less than what you thought you would have. Okay? Which, if you do the calculations, what we know is 7 years now, it would pass in 2.3 years. Again, this isn't a thus saith the Lord. This is just me thinking, could this happen? And then the Holy Spirit reminded me of Matthew 24:22, where Jesus prophesies and says, if those days had not been cut short, no one would survive. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. Those days will be shortened. And I know there's a lot of conjecture on how that would happen. How will the days be shortened? But I just felt like the Lord might be giving me some insights on how that would happen. So, again, not a thus saith the Lord, just me really thinking about the possibilities. So anyway, this is getting a little long. I hope this message has blessed you. And as always, it is my prayer that we will all continue to keep our lamps burning bright while we wait for Jesus. I love you all. God bless you.